baby, come.
All right. What's happening, baby girl?
Do you know that you're in?
I do. I hope.
You got the brain.
I got the brains and we got a fire.
That must mean it's time for love.
Din, din, din. Oh, that's
Goes
so
on fire.
stiff. It was just so
You
stiff.
know why that is, though, don't you?
Just relax.
Because it's white.
Anyway, so guys, what's good? We are back, and we are back with the
Happily married tag.
Happily Married tag.
Happily married.
Whoop, whoop. And
Got
yeah,
that ring, baby. If you keep talking, then it's not awkward. But when you leave a big gap, it makes it sound all awkward.
I'm just.
We worked so hard to get this fire, and now we're just covering it up.
We are. You can see the fire. You can see the love burning behind us, literally.
It's really hot.
It is. So we're going to speed through this. Guys, thank you so much for all your support. Thank you to our 17,000 subscribers. Plus more. That
Not leaving you out.
Yeah, true. But they're just racking up and up and up and up. And it's fantastic. We
It's a
are
real blessing,
over the moon.
guys, that you want to watch us.
Yeah.
So thanks.
Yeah.
for that.
I like to watch you.
I like to watch me too.
Right, okay. What is the first question?
The first question, guys, is: did you date much before you met each other?
Say what?
Did you date much? Like other people?
Before... Oh, right.
I didn't date at all.
Okay, if you want to call it that.
So I didn't date at all. Tim was my first ever boyfriend.
Ah, that is so sweet.
It is. Did you date? Come on, that's the question.
Well, I just said, yeah, kind of. I went out with
girls. Lots of girls.
But no, we just spoke.
You just did the whole school thing, have girlfriends in school, chatting to girls,
Yeah.
clubs, chatting girls up, blah blah.
Next question.
Stuff.
Yeah, I guess I did.
Anyway, moving on. Did online dating exist, and would you have used it?
I'm not sure it did.
I don't think it does.
If it did, it was on some real low key vibe,
yeah, it was
nowhere
like a new-
near. Do you want to say it?
It was like a really new thing.
And if it was around at the time, then it wasn't at the forefront. Now it's very common.
Would we have used it though? I've spoken to quite a few people recently who've met online. Now, to be honest, I don't want to be one that says, oh, I definitely wouldn't have done that, because I'm not in it. I haven't experienced it. But all I would be concerned about is if you was going to meet up with someone that it was safe and that you weren't going to meet them and no one knew that you was going to meet them and then you end up murdered.
Dun dun dun. Yeah, so dating 101, make sure it's safe. But would we have used it? Me personally, I love the real interaction. I don't get much of a buzz out of, oh, hey, my Facebook page.
Yeah, I don't think I
do you know what I
would
mean?
use it
So
personally.
because I didn't like that, I highly doubt I would have gone down the road of online dating. But if it's for you, it's for you.
Just because I think the whole social networking world can be very just set
Misleading.
up and misleading, and it's not
Fake.
always, it's people always just showing the best of themselves.
Yep.
And if you really want to get to know someone, you need to see them at their best and their worst.
That's the truth.
Yeah,
And
in
then,
real life, basically.
Yeah, and then you can work out whether you really can put up with them.
Yes, whether they're a keeper or a not keeper.
Chuck her away.
Okay, next question. If we talk this much, it's going to take ages. So,
That's right.
where do you think is a great place to meet your future husband or wife?
A great place to meet.
yeah.
Have you got one in head?
I would just say a family setting, meeting among friends. I think it's very organic and just natural.
Which is fair enough. Fair enough.
That's how we met.
Me personally, I would. Well, it's the same as Ella, but we would advise away from meeting alone.
Yes.
And you know why.
Okay, cool. what qualities would you tell single ladies to look for in a guy and single guys to look for in a lady?
Oh, this is good.
So
This
who's
is really
gonna go
good.
first?
Who came up with these?
I found them
A
online.
happily married guy.
Yeah, who's gonna go first?
You can do ladies first if you like.
Okay. Right, so I would tell single ladies,
Ladies first.
thank you, chivalry,
Yeah.
that they need to find a man who has got a plan. I wasn't trying to rhyme there, but like a man who
Such
kind
a
of knows.
rapper.
I know. Yo, yo, yo.
Jeez, watch out, Cardi.
Yep. A man who's got a plan, knows where he's going, because I feel like the woman's role is to support a man, and if he doesn't know where he's going, then you're just
It's very hard to
nothing.
support.
Yeah, basically. Yeah, I think that would be something that I would advise you to look for in a young man. That's just one of the things. I could give you a whole list, but I won't.
But that's real good. I like that. And what you should look for in a woman or a young lady, I would say, me personally, I would say someone.
Well, you can just rest your head in their bosom.
Well, no, I would say someone who is quite strongly rooted within their own family. And when you go and see their family, because yes, you should go and see their family, and you can see what kind of a network they've got there. And if you go to their home and it seems very warm, very loving, do you know what I mean, genuine or whatnot, then for me, the chances are going forward, that is a great foundation to build upon, because if they've got a good example of a family at home, and that's not saying, you know, because we've got many a different situation in the world. We've got people who've got single parents or whatever. It's not have the perfect 2.4, you know, or whatever, if that's what you think is perfect. Obviously we've got 2.78, but yeah, however, if you go in and they feel comfortable around each other, and there seems like some kind of loving foundation, that's for me families first. And if the family run-ins is cool on its own, then I feel you can trust a bit more. A girl that doesn't ever go to her house, or when she goes through her doors goes straight up to her room, or if she ever does go home, or she's always home after 9 o'clock, after 10 o'clock, and never ever really spending any time with her family, there's a word.
Yeah.
For girls.
I would also say for single ladies looking for guys, like much similar to what you're saying in terms of the family setting, a guy who knows how to treat his mum and his sisters well, if he's blessed to have his mum and his sisters around, or the ladies that are closest to him, if he's got respect for them and knows how to treat them well, I think that's a good sign.
Absolutely.
Yes. Okay, next question. What dating advice would you give to your daughter? Well, this is quite simple.
Because we've got
three things that we tell our daughters that they need to look for. At this age, obviously they're young, but I think it's something they can understand.
But they still recite it now.
Yeah, and it can be expanded upon. So it's one, they need to love God. 2, they need to love you.
And 3,
they need to love your family.
There you go.
3 things. Okay, next. How did you meet and how old were you? Well, if you watch our video, how we met, you will get the long story. So we will not put that right here, but you can click on a video link. I don't know.
Yeah.
But watch that video. But we met
We'll try and put the link in here, and if we don't, go and look in our videos.
Yeah, how we met.
We're new to this, man.
We met at a family occasion, and I was 16. I think Tim was 18.
Something like that.
Yeah, something like that. It's so long ago.
Yeah.
But yeah. Did either of you play hard to get?
Well, the funny thing is, Ella played super easy to get at the beginning and then went into hard to get. Yeah, and again, if you go and watch the How We Met video, that will be explained.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, sorry, I'm losing the question.
That's all right.
Did you know he or she was the right one right away?
No.
No. You just can't, can you, really? I don't really believe in that whole, it's love at first sight and I'm just starstruck and it's love in my eyes and all that.
Yeah, totally, because I've grown to not be able to be without you.
Yeah.
And likewise, I guess. I hope.
Yes, no, and I've also grown to just be totally in love with this husband of mine. But yeah, like you can't just know straight away because you don't know them straight away.
And also, I think you've got to get like on each other's bad side and see how you deal with that as well.
Yeah, totally.
Like not on a like try and arm someone up, like just walk up to her, knock her in the face, and then say what? Like not that kind of thing. But
love grows, and
yes.
getting to know someone is a process. And go on.
Sorry, you carry on.
No, you can finish off my sentence, baby. It's lovely.
Yeah, no, I'm not sure it was finishing a sentence. However,
just changing.
Yeah, it just changes something. It's love too. It's real love. Yeah. That's real love, not the movie love. But right, no, I was saying like things like if you, I'm just gonna make up a scenario here. That you're laughing because I said scenario. Yeah, I know. Anyway, scenario, same thing. Basically, if you don't like when people play with their zipper, and then yeah, it's just totally random. I told you, I warned you. And you don't like people that play with their zipper, but you obviously haven't been they've been in tracksuit. Like, do you know what I mean? The first couple of times, don't worry, you can meet in tracksuit. It's all right, isn't it?
Yeah.
But yeah, so if you haven't, been through enough experiences, you won't know that they even do that kind of thing, and you might not even know that it annoys you until it happens, and then you react, and you need to go through a couple of those things. Do you know what I mean? There's going to be much more serious things as well, but that was just a surface level kind of thing.
I mean, if they wear a tracksuit that's a zip-up hoodie, then you wouldn't know.
They might just be on it.
Okay. What qualities did your husband or wife love about you when you were first dating? So, what qualities did Tim love about me and I love about you? Okay, so I think Tim loved that I challenged him.
Yeah, I was going to say that. Okay.
No, I've got to say what you loved about me.
Oh, right, okay.
Yeah, I think Tim loved that I challenged him and I wasn't just a girl that was just like, like I had a bit about me, I think. 100. Your turn.
Yeah, and I think Ella liked, well, she just said one thing. I've got a lot of things. No, I'm joking, I'm playing. But I think Ella liked that I stood for something, that I was quite decisive in, whatever I wanted. And also that I was a bit edgy. Yeah. I think you like that.
I did. I did. Okay. We could talk so much about these topics.
We could, but
guys, if you have any other questions, you can obviously just ask us. Okay. Did you have a timeline for marriage in your mind before you got married? It's funny. My dad had a timeline.
Once we were allowed.
Yeah, my dad had a timeline that he used to say meet someone and get married within 6 months. Yeah, I think now he might differ from that a bit.
Yeah,
I think definitely.
So.
I think the whole gist of that was just coming from meet someone, get to know if they're the right person. If they're not, don't just have a long drawn out dating experience. You need to kind of decide, am I investing time into this because it's the person that I want to marry, or am I just being in it for fun? Because
the truth of the matter is, loads of people out there, and I would not point any fingers, but if the shoe fits, stay with people because they don't want to be alone. That is not a reason to have a relationship. I'm sorry. And also that points towards you not having any self-worth, or kind of you have many insecurities of your own that you probably need to deal with before you get into a relationship, because a marriage is like a mirror. And basically what it shows you, it's not just like the mirror when you're all done up well, it's the mirror of truth. And it's the mirror that shouts right back at you real loud. It talks as well. It's like the one in, fairy, who's the fairest of them all?
Snow White.
Snow White. Right, so it's like that, but it screams back at you, you are so selfish. You are so, you know what I mean, or whatever, doesn't it? And it just constantly shows you your flaws. So if you have loads of them, try and get them down to a minimum before you jump into a relationship.
Because they will be highlighted, definitely.
100.
But yeah, so did you have to nudge your husband towards marriage, or did it happen on its own? No. Tim was pretty sure from the get-go, not from the get-go, but once he knew, okay, I want to be with Ella, I didn't have to nudge him at all.
Yeah, I don't do well with being nudged.
No, it wasn't
In
even
general.
that. You just couldn't wait to spend the rest of
Oh,
your life.
100%. But
Are you okay? Do we need to turn this lovely fire off?
No, we good.
Okay.
We good.
Right. How did your parents influence the kind of marriage that you wanted?
Well,
question.
my mum and dad, I always remember telling this story. I till now have not seen my mum and dad, that's mum and dad Grimwade, for all of you who know my colourful background as of late. I've never seen them as much as raise their voice to one another, ever. Like, and I'm not lying to you. I wouldn't, there's no point. I'm not lying. I've never, ever seen my mum and dad raise their voice or even give a bad look to one another. They've always been a team, ever since I was little. Even if there was any problems, and I don't know if they dealt with it in their bedroom, you know, with the doors closed, maybe. No, they didn't do that. Anyway, so but but they were an amazing team, and for me, I always wanted to replicate that. So
Yeah.
And then your mother and father.
My mum and dad, I always looked at my mum as someone that was committed to her relationship with my dad, and my dad vice versa was committed to my mum. And as far as I could see, they thought the world of each other. My dad would always go on about, oh, your mum's a great woman and da da da. And mum trusted my dad, and she would follow him as her leader. And I thought, yeah, that's the sort of relationship that I want to be able to get into and how I want my marriage to work. So
That's the truth. And dad was the leader.
dad was the leader and she was the supporter. And yeah, I think that's the way it should
That's
be.
the way it should be.
Personally. Okay, and I know for you, lot of you out there, you'll probably go, that's old school, but
Listen, old
Listen, I
school
think it
is
works.
for me it's the right school, man.
yeah, definitely. Okay, so the next question is, what did you love most about your wedding? Do you know what?
Oh, I'll tell you, I know exactly what I loved about it.
What did you love?
I just loved that everyone was there and
Yeah.
had a good time.
I loved that our wedding was a culmination. Is that the right word?
Yes,
Hey,
it is.
check me out. It was high fives. It was a culmination of just the love that was just showered over us to help us kind of bring our love together in marriage. It was just awesome because we had so much help, not just from our parents, but from our church, from
mad.
our family,
I
from our
think-
friends.
I think just
was
to
beautiful.
disclose, I swear, like, you know what weddings are like these days. I've heard some dumb numbers. I think we did the whole thing for about $6,000. Something like
Yeah, I
that.
think it might have been about 10 grand.
Okay,
But
I'll make
it
it
was a whole lot less than
Yeah.
most weddings cost these days.
Yeah.
And that was largely down to our church. She did the catering for us for free. We only had to pay for the food.
By the way, I stated that not to seem boiling, like, because we definitely ain't got that kind of dough.
No,
I
but
said
these
it
days
like
weddings are like 30 grand.
That's
20
that's
grand, do you know what I
the
mean?
comparison I was making.
Yeah,
Sorry.
basically. We were saying it's a lot cheaper than you get weddings for that we know of these days.
Yeah.
I mean, of course, you can get married and you just go to a registry office
yeah.
and you get married and then carry on with
And you
your
know
day.
what? That is
No problem with that.
no problem. Because at the end of the day, the most important thing is you get married.
Yeah.
Like, if you want to get married, that you get married.
Precisely.
If you don't want to get married, equally, just thought I'd throw this in there, it's doubly important you don't get married. If you do not want to get married, don't do it. Do it when you find the right person, and don't do it because you're coaxed into it by other people. Because I'm telling you, it is not easy.
No.
Especially
Just make sure
if
make sure
and
you
this
get
is when
married
it's
for the
good
right
because
reasons.
I will sing Marriage from the Hilltops. However, that's my marriage. Do you know what I mean? And it's not without fault. It's had many a fault. I lie. Do you
We're
know
not
what I mean?
just yeah.
Go on, no, go for it.
No,
you
go
say what you're saying.
No,
man.
I was just saying we're not
Express
just
yourself.
saying just be partners for life. Like, I think you definitely have to make a commitment to someone. If you found that person, then make the commitment. Like, if
100,
you know
but
that's
what-
the person you're
yeah.
gonna be with, then make that commitment. But if you're just going, oh well, this is the person I've been with and I think they're the one.
Yeah. This is what I'm saying. I'm saying don't get married. Like, same way I would say don't be in a relationship if you don't want to be. Like, unless you 100% want to be in a relationship and you want to die to yourself and give all of you to someone else, then don't do it. If you want to sit down and play PlayStation all day or whatever, men, this is obvious, well, not saying no girls don't play PlayStation, but mainly men play the computers of what I've seen. Obviously my sisters, anyway, I'm talking myself into a grave. But basically I'm talking to men, and if you want to stay and play your games all day and you want to go out every night and all that kind of stuff, it's not.
If you're not ready to be selfless, then I don't think you're ready to be married.
Nope.
And I mean, also, there's lots of people that are there and they're just, you know, they're together, but they're not married. And the woman might say, oh, yeah, you know, I'm happy. He's committed to me. We can't afford a wedding right now. But in her heart of hearts, she wants the man to commit to her and to show that she is his queen. Mm-hmm. And that's the only person that he wants to be with for the rest of his life. What elements of your wedding didn't matter as much as you thought they would? I had a couple of nightmares before we got married that, oh my gosh, the food didn't come. We all had to go over the road and get KFC.
This is so you.
And oh
KFC?
my god, get KFC. And then,
that's a chicken shop, in case anyone didn't know what it was.
Kentucky Fried Chicken.
Yeah, I'm sure pretty much everyone does. But
and I think, do you know what? The closer and closer it got to my wedding day, I realised, do you know what? The most important thing is, if Tim and I get married at the end of the day, that is what matters. So yeah, that was really. I don't really nudge that much, as you can see.
That's why I did it.
Yeah, so, you know, I loved everything that happened in my wedding. I loved my dress, I loved the church, I loved the wedding reception, the music, the people there. I loved everything about it. The flowers, like, I just loved it all. I remember when we got back to our hotel on our honeymoon night, our wedding night, I just remember saying, oh my gosh, I just want to just do it all over again.
It was a wicked day. It was.
Yeah, it was so fun. But at the same time, you know, if something had gone wrong, like I think I remember my veil, when I was coming down the aisle, was a bit kind of like...
Skewiff.
Yeah, skewiff. But it didn't really matter. It's a bit of a laugh.
I don't care about that.
I forgot to put my garter on, but it didn't matter.
Didn't care about that either.
So, yeah.
Because it was all good when we got back to... Oh, sorry, that's another video. Maybe not.
Well, I had a surprise for you, didn't I?
Yeah.
Yeah, I had Tim's name tattooed on my back for our wedding night. So, yeah, he was like, whoa!
Yes, that was great.
Yeah. Anyway, moving on.
Yeah.
Okay. Is the first year of marriage really the hardest?
No, not necessarily. It depends when you come up against the biggest problems.
Yeah.
So whenever you're here, and it's usually around sex, money. And I was gonna say love, really, like wanting to. I think those three things, sex, love, and money, are pretty much the start of any big problem.
And they can come at any point in your marriage.
Anytime.
I mean, we experienced problems in our first year. We experienced problems probably in our third year, and various different years of our marriage.
We've said on here, as again, you can go and listen to a few other of our videos. I'm sure it's in maybe Hosanna's birth story.
Yeah.
But around Hosanna's birth, which obviously Hezi must have already been 2, so that's already more than 3 years really into our marriage. But when we first got married, it was calm. But I do understand, we were together for quite a long time beforehand, before getting married. Yeah. So I understand if people get married and then maybe get the fear factor, I'll marry her. I don't know.
I think in our first
I could understand that.
year of marriage, we came up against some surprises that we weren't expecting.
Yeah.
But I think then...
I'm trying to think what
the first 3 months, then 6 months, don't worry.
Oh, right.
Yeah. And
we will let you in on another video, don't worry about it.
Some stuff happened that we weren't expecting, but I think it kind of initially probably wasn't necessarily as hard to deal with, but then when sometimes you realise how deep rooted the issue might be, then moving forward, which might be a couple of years down the line for you realise, oh man, I've got to deal with this issue, and then that's when it can kind of get hard because your partner's like, what? You still haven't dealt with that from 2 years ago? And things can get peak. But so it just depends when issues come up, but the first year could be absolute.
It could be. You could get to your 9th year, or when the problems come, that's when you'll experience the problems.
Exactly. What advice would you give to newlywed couples?
Well, obviously,
spend loads of time in the bedroom. And just make sure you make the love.
it's true. It's true. That will help towards a healthy marriage. But obviously, as a Christian family, we would say, you know, keep God first. You're hot.
I'm what?
You are hot. Yeah, no, but obviously, you know, we keep God at the forefront of our marriage, and it helps us because it always gives us an ultimate truth to come back to if like our opinions don't match up. And I think that's what it's almost like having a referee.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So when you're both not agreeing, he says, well, this is what it is, and you say, okay,
you've got that set of values that you have to come back to. Yeah. And there's no
That is
arguing with that.
Yeah, standard.
Basically. If you're religious, how has your faith influenced your marriage? Well, that kind of.
Well, I pretty much just answered that. So.
Yeah, that's how, and that is actually the last question.
Cool.
So yeah, guys.
We hope you really enjoyed our video. What was it called? The Happily Married Tag.
Happily Married Tag.
And, you know, just to end, you know, we are happily married, and we have been for, you know, how long now? 9?
It's going to be 9 years in March, I think.
Yeah, yes. You must think we're nuts, like, but we really just enjoy our life together, and all the variables, all the statistics, we ain't really interested in. There's too much, you know, that we need to just focus on to keep our marriage tip top. Do you know what I mean? And are you hot?
I'm just sweating.
This fire has got like progressively hotter. I don't even know if you can see it in the camera now.
But
so
there it is.
there you go.
It's just there.
But yeah, guys. But the most important thing is that, you know, you love people. Love people. Well, it is important you love people. But it's more important that you really love your wife.
I'm just nodding away.
Yeah, it's like, yeah. And
that's not what I usually do when you're talking. I usually listen.
Oh, well, there you
take
go.
It all in.
But no, and me and Ella just work hard at keeping our love alive.
We try and communicate, which means talking.
It's brutally honest sometimes.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Which isn't always easy to hear.
Not always easy to say.
Yeah, true.
But a problem out in the open is a lot better than a problem in the dark.
Oh, come on, wise Tim.
You know. Thanks, Lord.
And then you just have to have a bit of humour as well.
Yeah.
Just take the pick out of each other here and there.
That helps too. So guys, if you have enjoyed our Happily Married Tag, and you know what to do, smash that like button. And also, if you haven't already, then what could they do, babe?
Please, can you subscribe to our channel?
That would be wicked. If you want to see more of us and you think we're not absolutely crazying up the wall, then yeah, wicked. Come back and see us again, man. And also, if you want to get in touch, please, comments. You know what I mean? We've loved all our comments because we get so many comments.
We do get a lot
and we love reading them and responding. And if there is anyone out there who we haven't got back to, because we literally try and get back to every single comment.
We do try. I mean, I try so hard to answer all the comments.
Yeah.
Tim does.
Anyway, I'll just... but if you do want to get in touch, please do that, or hit us up on Instagram at the Grimwade Family. Twitter we're not on as much, but you can still connect with us there at Grimwade Family. Did you have anything else to say?
Just that we love you guys. We love each other, but there's love for you guys too.
Yeah, massively. We thank you for all your support so much, and we're gonna stop rambling. So you think you were right?
Bring it on, prove me wrong. Go put up